Diplomat's Life is a show about one of the most versatile and important professions in the modern age of political conflicts and economic crisis. In this program, you will meet people who build bridges between countries and bring nations closer together. Emilio Pevida will talk about his love for salsa, his work in construction, and Barajan Momoshula. Stay tuned. Cuba is a Caribbean bay. I think it's a nice place where you can rest. What else? We have never been there. As for Cuba, I don't think our country has any relationship with it. I do not know. The island itself was dependent on Russia at the time of communism. Tourism is poorly developed there, although the country is warm and has everything for a great vacation.
Я учился в Московском государственном институте международных отношений, МГИМО. Я выпускник МО факультета.
I studied at the Moscow State Institute of International Relations. I'm a graduate of International Relations Department. I graduated from the institute in 1987. It seems like a long time ago, but the memories of my time as a student are still fresh.
Очень свежий. У нас, как воспоминание моего первого визита в Казахстан, когда я участвовал на стройотряде. Я здесь, в Казахстане, в 1983 году, летом, поездом приехал после, по-моему...
As well as the memories of my first visit to Kazakhstan, when I was part of the construction team. I arrived after 3 days traveling by train. I was working in the Tselnograd region, in the city of Tselnograd. We built farms here, repaired and painted walls.
Нас объединяет тесные, дружеские, братские, я бы сказал, связи, которые глубоко уходят в историю, совместной истории наших стран. Нас соединяет или объединяет очень красивую историю дружбы и сотрудничества, да, потому что из тех времен много кубинцев учили.
We are united by a very beautiful history of friendship and cooperation. Because back in the day, many Cubans have studied here, trained here as good specialists, and then went back to Cuba. This way, each of us has contributed to the development of our country. We are very grateful for this help. We have a real basis for cooperation in the field of education, in culture and health care. Recently, we also signed the cooperation agreement between the Prosecutor General's offices of Cuba and Kazakhstan. By the way, an agreement was signed in Cuba. Negotiations are still underway to sign other treaties on mutual assistance in the field of jurisprudence.
Для того, чтобы подписать другие договоры на взаимной помощи в области юриспруденции. Así que muchas gracias a ustedes también por el esfuerzo que han realizado, porque sé que viajar de Cuba acá es complicado, uno se cansa, pero están aquí, guapearon, hicieron el curso y además están conociendo y están creciendo como personas y como especialistas.
We held training of the Prosecutor General's Office of Cuba. We had a very important delegation that came to Kazakhstan. These are prosecutors of the Prosecutor General's Office of Cuba from different cities and provinces of our country. The visit of an important delegation took place within the framework of the cooperation agreement between the Prosecutor General's offices of Cuba and Kazakhstan, which was signed in March in Havana. And these are just the first steps. Everything that we had here, the closing ceremony, the handing of the letters, is just the beginning.
Закрытие, вручение грамоты, все это только первые шаги. Я приехал в Казахстан.
I arrived in Kazakhstan on November 4th of the last year. how quickly I got used to the climate. I think it was fast. In general, the climate here is really severe. Winters here are very cold. What can I tell you? Your winters make Cubans go out of their minds. This is unusual for us, because we have summer all year round and it's very hot. But considering that I studied for 5 years in Moscow and then worked for about 4 years in Ukraine, I'm used to the climate a little.
Я учился 5 лет в Москве и потом работал тоже где-то около 4, то есть 4 года на Украине тоже. Я уже немножко привык. Мне нравится прежде всего музыка и танцы, да, то есть.
First and foremost, I like music and dancing. I'm a good dancer, and my spouse is also a good dancer. We like to dance.
Мы любим танцевать. Особенно сальса, ну, все кубинские ритмы, потому что на Кубе есть разные ритмы, да? Не только сальса.
Especially salsa, but also all Cuban dances. Because there are different dances in Cuba, not only salsa, a dance-on, cha-cha, gansonette, rumba. There are also other different rhythms. I want to introduce you to the musician today. His name is Alexander Avreu. His ensemble is called Havana de Premier. He's one of the most famous musicians of Cuba today. Especially for you, we will dance a little.
Кубы настоящего времени. А специально для вас будем танцевать чуть-чуть. Ну, как мы танцуем. Да?
Vengo de donde el sol calienta la tierra y allí donde el corazón late más sincero. Vengo de donde el sol pasa las horas enamorando a la rumba, cantándole aquel bolero. Traigo mi religión y mi esperanza.
Мы хотим просто здесь по возможности пригласить Казахстан.
We want to invite Cuban musicians, Cuban ensembles to Kazakhstan whenever it is possible. We want to organize together with the Ministry of Culture a week of Cuban culture, and we can organize a week of Kazakh culture back in Cuba. It is quite possible.
Организовать здесь неделю кубинской культуры, и у нас можно организовать неделю казахской культуры. Это вполне возможно.
Vengo de donde el sol calienta la tierra donde nací, donde viviré.
No pienso que sufrir es aquella opción que nos dio algún Dios para salvarnos. No apagues el candil o la nieve donde el centro del dolor.
¡Bravo! У нас очень передовые научные медицинские препараты, разработанные в течение многих лет.
Our scientists for many years have been developing very advanced scientific medical drugs to treat cancer, different types of cancer, and many effective vaccines and treatment courses. For the treatment of, for example, diabetic foot ulcers, this drug is unique. There are no analogs in the world. I think that the field of healthcare, the field of pharmaceutical biotechnology, and the field of tourism are the most promising areas for cooperation.
В области здравоохранения, в области фармацевтической промышленности, биотехнологий в основном, да? И в области туризма, конечно. Мы подписали с Казахстаном договор в безвизовом режиме, да?
We signed an agreement with Kazakhstan on a visa-free regime, but there is still a process of consultations between our countries. We hope that soon there will be a ratification, because the treaty has been signed but needs to be ratified. Statistics show that in the last 4 years, the number of tourists from Kazakhstan doubled to Cuba, and last year it grew by 32%.
Количество туристов казахстанцев на Кубу. В прошлом году вырос на 32%. В области тоже балета и есть тоже огромный потенциал для сотрудничества. Вы, наверное, в курсе, что кубинский национальный...
In the field of ballet, there is a huge potential for cooperation. You probably know that the Cuban National Ballet is one of the best ballets in the world. I had the opportunity to visit the National Academy of Choreography of Kazakhstan. I met with the rector of the academy. They are interested in cooperation with Cuba.
Они заинтересованы в сотрудничестве с Кубой. Но мы узнали, что будет как раз Евразийский фестиваль танцев, решили приходить на театр, потому что...
We found out that there will be a Eurasian Dance Festival. We decided to come to the theater because we like it. I want to tell you that ballet is very developed in Cuba. The Cuban National Ballet is one of the best ballets in the world. In Cuba, ballet and dance are very popular. The Cuban National School of Ballet is the largest school in the world, which is located not only in Havana, the capital, but also in other cities.
В мире, и который имеет, то есть находится не только в Гаване, на столице, но и в других городах тоже имеет филиалы. У нас, то есть лично...
Personally, we like ballet as an artistic expression of the soul of dancers. We also have many festivals every year.
Танцоров и балеринов. У нас проходит тоже ежегодно много фестивалей. Дети на Кубе,
Children in Cuba are in the center of attention not only of the state, but also all grown-ups. Children are not only the present, they are the future of our country, the future of mankind. Our government allocates huge resources for the upbringing of children. Our children go to school from the first grade until they graduate the university. Even the doctoral and master's degrees are free of charge.
Докторских и магистратуры тоже бесплатно, всем доступно.
I have a big family. I have 5 children, 2 daughters and 3 sons. All of them are older than Ernest, who is with us here in Kazakhstan.
Здесь в Казахстане. Его зовут Эрнесто, как Эрнесто Че Гевара.
His name is Ernesto, as Ernesto Che Guevara. I try to find time to play with my son, as well as with children of my neighbors. We play football, baseball. I want to teach him how to play baseball, because here the baseball is not so popular.
Здесь речь идет о борьбе за независимость.
This is about the struggle for independence of the 19th century. José Martí was the leader of this war. He organized a revolutionary party to lead the struggle for independence for the first time in the world. We have an idea. It's my dream. And my friends also share this dream. To build here in Kazakhstan a monument to our national hero, José Martí, and in Cuba to the Kazakh hero, Baurjan Momoshulla. You need to know that Baurjan Momoshulla was welcomed warmly in Cuba, and he was even invited by Fidel Castro in the 1960s. He invited him because he believed that Mr. Momoshulla really was the hero of your people, and he was welcomed as the real hero of the Kazakh people. He had a wide program of visits, meetings, he gave lectures, and I think we're connected through this beautiful story too.
В 60-е годы товарищем Фиделем.